Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a special one for you. Today we are doing blade versus cavity wedge edition. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, jump down in the comments, let us know your thoughts. Don't be one of the many people who watches all of our videos and doesn't subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. The goal of this video will be really to dive into each of these different profile of wedges and see if I get any more consistency, spin, carry, whatever it may be with either of these two wedges. These are two completely different profiles. We have a Vokey 54-degree blade wedge, and we have a Callaway 54-degree cavity back wedge. Two completely different wedges, one test. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so this is a really fun one. It is basically the same test as a blade versus cavity iron. To all intents and purposes, irons and wedges are the same, right? It's just a squashed bit of metal in a forged blade, and then hollowed out technology in the cavity. I've never done this test. I've never seen it done with data. Let's talk about a couple of things that are going to come into play. So the cavity back means that there's hollow parts inside this wedge. You can see that this specific wedge has been filled in with something in the back there, so there's another material in play. For a wedge, we're not having all the technology that irons talk about, like these springy faces, dead spots in the faces some clubs are doing. What they're really trying to do, I guess, is create forgiveness across the face. It's an interesting one. It's still going to drag CG further away and low, so I would expect to see some changes in launch. What it really does is it blows up the sole of the golf club, and this golf club's got a ton of grind. We've got leading edge grind, we've got a C through the middle, we've got trailing edge grind. You can get all that with a bladed wedge. So what we have done is give you 14 degrees of bounce, which is the same, but the grind is different on this wedge to that one. Maybe that's going to come into play a little bit. We tried to change one thing. Golf shaft, keep it the same. Length, keep it the same. Swing weight, keep it the same. Loft and lie, keep it the same. So it really is, change one thing. We're going from a blade to a cavity.
Right.
What are your expectations?
Well, going back to what you said, like this topic, blade versus cavity, is talked about so much in irons, but not that much in wedges, which is surprising because these are two very, very different profiles, and I think we'll see very different results out of them. I play a profile of wedge similar to this, but I was just talking to you earlier, I hit every single wedge off the toe. So is a more forgiving body profile like that going to help me off the toe? Will this one work better for me just because that's what I'm used to? I guess we're going to find out.
We've got lots to talk about here. It might not seem like much, but we do. First thing, one caveat. So we're trying to use a program, give the people what they want to map the golf shots. So this one here, we got target. This is TrackMan range. We can't tag clubs, so we couldn't tag Vokey and Callaway, for instance. So what we can do is change clubs. So you're going to hit the first batch with the 54 degree, tagged as a 54 degree. You're going to hit the second batch with this, which is a 54 degree, but we're going to tag it as 56, so we can do contrast and compare.
Right.
It's only the metric of tagging that we're doing. It's not the actual loft that's changing, just for everyone at home.
All right, shall we try it out?
Yeah, blade first. So the blade is going to be tagged as the 54 degree. So you already touched on it, right? You hit it out of the toe. So one thing with bladed wedges we absolutely know is the center of gravity tends to be more toward the heel, just with a normal bladed iron.
Right.
So with a cavity back, one of the things is you see a lot more different weight placement. It should be more mass toward the toe, so that toe strike should have a little more power behind it, a little more stability behind it, a little more consistency behind it. So that would be one thing I would expect, but not know.
And that was a very bad strike, and the ball strikes show up pretty well on these wedges, so I'll probably show the camera after this, but that was, I almost missed the grooves there.
Okay, good. So toe strike. I'm looking at launch, I'm looking at spin, I'm looking at carry.
That was a much better strike, and that might fly it.
No, 97, like it, 9800. And that was interesting.
Perfect.
Between those two shots, the launch angle didn't change. So why I talk about the launch angle is it's kind of like a driver or an iron. The more that CG is low and far back, the more we're going to see that ball start higher in the air.
Right.
I know a lot of great wedge players don't like that. Wedge players like seeing it start low and control that height.
Right. And it depends on the conditions you're playing in, right? If I hit a wedge shot like that with any wind has the opportunity to take that ball anywhere.
Yeah. And it's funny, we have lots of obviously representatives of companies come in here and talk about new products when they come out, and it's always Cleveland that bring us a stat, and I can't remember exactly what it is right now. That's in the zone. Good shot. But
Oh, it spun out.
it was in the zone. The statistic is based around how many people play cavity back irons versus wedges, and it's disproportionate. There's like it's a broken link right there. And I know as a club fitter, when I give someone a pitching wedge within the set that's cavity back, I don't like giving them a straight bladed gap wedge, whether that's a gap wedge nowadays, which is 46 degrees, or a 50 or 52. So I often try and keep technology in the full shot clubs, and then I move down into blades, into the more lofted clubs, the ones that you want more control, more finesse with. So I don't know, over the years, I've never had many people bring a wedge back. They've always been pretty happy with it. So is there a case that you do need a cavity back sand wedge and lob wedge? Like, I think if you're hitting full shots with it, it makes sense, but I think around the greens, maybe not.
Right.
It's a weird conversation. I didn't know this. This is the first time I've used this part of the program, but you're getting a check mark or a cross whether you hit the box
I
or
know.
not. So it's a simple system. We're going to know.
I'm getting exposed.
Go ball.
Get in there.
Stay ball. Control that. Well, we did another wedge video, the short, which was about control, right?
Right.
100 yards for a 54 degree should be a fairly controlled sand wedge, but you're obviously ripping it a lot.
Right.
1100 RPMs of spin on that.
Well, do you remember our last YouTube video about wedges?
Go on.
I hold it.
Lower launch means higher spin with a wedge generally, and watch this. Oh, you did. That's what I'm talking about. Was that
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah, you held it. Yeah, but you ripped it back into the hole.
Yeah.
So there's the lesson. You got to fly it past this number. The launch angle is fluctuating a little bit. Oh, there you go. Now, I just said fly it past and spin it back, and he's like, yes, sir.
No
on
problem.
point. Not only in the zone, in the center zone.
Is that extra points?
I guess I'll give you another one. So 10,000 RPM, 27 degrees to launch. Did you like that last strike?
I did, yeah. And I these are showing up pretty well. I'll show the camera the actual strike pattern on the wedge because it's pretty interesting. But I said before I usually catch it in the toe, and I guess I'm proving myself wrong. Catching it not too bad today, but yeah, it's with a wedge like this, it's going to be different across the face. Probably going to see like that toe strike. That first one I had was maybe like 80-yard carry, whereas one towards more the center of the club, 104-yard carry. So that's a lot of fluctuation, especially when you're hitting a wedge and you need to be precise with these yardages. So going into that cavity back in a little bit, I'll be interested to see if there's more consistency with my toe strikes.
That's a great point. I mean, that's maybe the point that's what we want to see, right? How many times we tested the irons and we see the hollow body iron have bigger dispersion from top to bottom,
right.
The blade work better in that fashion.
Right.
So, but that's a great point.
And that was a good one too.
Here's another funny one with cavity back that you'll get is the fact that, good shot, stay there. Ooh. You're kind of confined, and this is one of the better jobs I've seen done of a cavity back, and I think Cleveland do, the CBX is a good option too. Because you have a cavity back, there has to be more material on the back, so the sole has to be wider.
Right.
So to negate everything having to be a big wide sole, you have to grind a lot of material off. So it basically, I guess a lot of people might steer away from cavity because they don't think it's a versatile. But this actually is a versatile option.
Right. Ooh, that was
It sounded
misstrike, and I felt it.
I think, I mean, that's a lot of people's conversation about blades. They like playing blades because they feel where they strike it.
Right.
I mean, I think that's fair. I've definitely messed around with a lot of irons where I'm like, oh, I don't know where I hit that.
Right.
And I have no idea where it's going to go in terms of distance.
And that's my toe. But I think I strike it out of the toe so much that just feels like a normal wedge shot for me.
Well, I guess you've got the yardage pretty close there. You're within 5 yards. And it's still spinning out of the toe, and that's kind of cool because when you hit a toe with a driver or something, you get that really knuckly one, and you don't get as much gear effect with the irons, certainly not wedges. So it's nice that RPMs are still high with a dead strike.
Right, and I'm not so far off the toe where I'm missing grooves. I'm still, well, I'm barely,
That's good.
barely catching grooves. So not too far off.
And we are seeing a pattern here of like that launch angle. So your misstruck launch is under 26 degrees or under 27 degrees. Your good strikes seem to be 27 to 28.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a seemingly large window, but I think about degrees, like launches, 1 degree for me. I can see 1 degree with a driver.
Right.
You're like, that looks different in the air.
Right.
So to have a big spread is interesting. Maybe a cavity will tidy that up.
Right. And I think like in my head with lower wedge shots, I'd have more control. I think just living in Arizona the past couple of years, I've tried to get my wedges up just because the greens get rock hard, especially in the summer. You need height and spin to hold the greens out here.
Yeah.
But like back east, softer greens, you can kind of throw in those low ones and they're going to stop.
You almost need to. You
Right.
get it coming in too steep with too much spin and they're pulling off the front of the green.
Right. Another pull, I think. I'm happy with that grouping.
Okay, yeah. I mean, everyone can see on the mini map, you've got a little visual up in the corner there, the ball ripping back, and you've got the mini map happening. And like I say, the only reason why we're changing this to 56 is just to give people a good view of that. Now, what we can do here is, I believe, when you get rolling, yeah, click the batch. So now we can see that the average carry for that was 96. About 4 yards short. I mean, let's see what you get.
It's not bad.
The spin rate, the best shots that you hit. Shot 5, 2,700 RPM. This is the one you called center. 10,000 RPMs. Your club and your ball speed. And this is an interesting one for me I'd like to look into too. So that's the relationship. It's basically smash factor. It tells that story. And what I love to see with the wedge is a 1-to-1 relationship or close to it. With a driver, you don't. You want to see a 1.5. You want the ball springing off the face. Mm-hmm. Well, with a wedge, I want to know the speed that I swing it has some relativity to the speed the ball goes. And then you can kind of say, all right, at 85 miles an hour, that's my 100-yard shot, or my 95-yard shot in your case. It's really important to know that that 1-to-1 relationship's there. That means you have control over the ball. Right. What you do turns into exactly what the ball does.
Right. And so much, especially with a 100-yard shot, and I know some of the hardest shots in golf are 60 to 100 yards. That feel is so important on those shots. You want consistency on feel. No matter what course you're playing, no matter what kind of day you're having, those shots are the scoring shots. So having that consistency, like you said, that 1-to-1 factor, feeling that yardage, that's what you want.
Well, we've all had a flyer, right?
Right.
Essentially, if you see this smash factor drastically jump up and you start seeing your smash factor with your sand wedge 1.1 something, 1.2 something, the ball's jumping off the face. You have to do more with your body and your mind to start correlating on how quickly is it going to jump this time.
Right.
It's hard.
And before we switch over, we don't even need TrackMan for this. I'm going to do the IRL impact location. Let me see if I can. There we go. So a little off the toe, couple center strikes, but not bad.
Okay, so remember, all we've done is change the tag of the club to 56. It is 54 degrees. It's just the only way we could do it.
And after holding both of these in my hands, like completely different profiles, completely different wedges, they are the same loft. But I'm really interested to see, like we were saying, had some toe strikes with the other one. The consistency actually wasn't too bad with the Vokey across the face. I'm wondering if I'll have a tougher time just because this wedge would be so forgiving. If I'll have a tougher time with that distance control, if it's going to really be flying more than what I'm used to with a blade wedge.
For sure. You know, all the things you just said there, I like that. That's kind of what the wedge is aimed at, right? Like, this is not designed for the precision player. Someone's like, hey, I'm not very good. You know, I wanted something to bounce off the ground differently. I want to look down at more real estate. I'd be really interested to see if we like break through here and see something, and will change my mind on what I should do in the fitting bay.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting test.
All right, Callaway, 54 degree cavity back. Let's try it out. Whoa.
All right. Well, I guess the first prediction was kind of right. The launch angle's way different.
Kind of got under with that one. That might have been my fault.
All right, well, let's check.
That was a much better strike.
Sounded spinny, honestly. Okay, we have to call misread on spin there.
Yes,
Unless
I was gonna
this
say.
happens
I was
again,
gonna say. Has to be. That was a really good strike. I feel like that might have came back into the circle if the
Right.
spin was right there.
Come on.
That was a miss.
Toe miss?
Yeah, a little. It's actually a little skinny toe. It was a
Really
weird one.
interesting. I mean, I'm going to delete that second shot, and we just
Okay.
because that one really is going to mess up in my head the RPMs and the averages. So let's just try again there.
It's much different to swing, and I think it's just mentally looking down at it, a much bigger profile than I'm used to. So it's a very different sensation.
Well, it's really interesting. Your club speed's drastically changed, and obviously the club's not heavy or a light or a longer or shorter, but your mental game is like thinking something different, and you're moving it differently.
Right. Good strike.
Come on, give us something interesting. Oh wow, this really is different.
Wow.
And that's why we had to delete that other one because of the misread on spin, which is going to really mess with the grouping.
Right.
Look at the grouping right now. It's forgiveness.
It's not going to stay like that. It's another good strike. I think I'm just pushing it, yeah. Get right in that circle.
Listen, they're making it in the circle. We could lay a little picnic blanket over the batch right now. Incredible. Okay, get nerdy on you here. CG further towards the toe, bigger, effectively higher MOI. You're not turning it over as much. You are struggling to square. Everything's left, but everything is in an absolute bucket.
Unbelievable grouping. I mean, what are we? That's 5 shots in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable grouping. But what you said is spot on. Not getting it to turn over at all. It's staying, I don't know what we are, but 5 yards offline to the left on every shot.
Are you seeing marks come up on the face there?
A little bit.
Okay. Because you've said I struck that one well a lot more times in a row now?
Yes.
Are you actually striking it well, or does it just feel better?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little more towards the center, not completely center, but they felt solid, a little more thunky,
All right. Yeah, I can get you a set of these, no worries. Okay, that one.
I think that's online.
Yeah, it started a little more central. Ooh, really online. There's no hole out here, unfortunately, to go in the hole, but that was
mess up my grouping.
Not really. Look at that. Just gonna sprint it a little.
Oh.
What did you do there? What happened?
That was just a bad swing.
Well, this is a great example. Let's see what forgiveness looks like. Wow! Look at that thing.
That was so bad. And did the camera catch that? The ball just
It went up and gone. I don't know if the camera saw that, but the ball was in the ether.
Got stuck up in the ceiling. That was a really bad swing, but wow, that grouping is unbelievable. How much do these things go for?
Oh, that one.
That one felt hot, but I think it's because it's a little skinny.
Very, very different launch angle.
Yeah.
I know obviously the shot prior to that was not great, but that one, massive launch angle change.
Pushed it.
What a conversation to have right now. Unreal.
This is ridiculous. And this is my honest first time ever trying a profile this big in a wedge. I've never even tried something close to this. Wasn't sure what kind of player it was for or anything like that, but I mean the consistency that I'm getting out of this is incredible. Oh, that might have been the best strike of the day.
Very crispy.
Right on line. A
Just
little hotter off the face.
Rip back into the group.
All right.
You didn't mess your grouping up, don't worry. Well, I think we've got plenty to debrief on here. First of all, let's see the face. Show the camera the face and see what went on there.
Not sure if it'll show up as well in this one. There you go. A little bit more towards the center of the face. That little white scuff you see off of the grooves is that ball that got stuck in the ceiling and still ended up right in my circle, which is pretty incredible for missing the grooves of the club face.
Now, this is a little harder to dive into like head-to-head stats for like launch and spin. We can kind of do it. The number one standout, I think, for this test is grouping. This is blade grouping on the mini map down the far right, and you can see all the shots with the spray. Average carry was 96. That's with the Vokey. We skip to the Callaway, and it is what I would want to see with a wedge. Tighter grouping. Yeah, it's more left. I think you'd figure that out as a player. 92. So the good is it was absolutely way more accurate, no matter what shot you hit. Really good and really bad. The bad is I think there was a lot of fluctuation in launch and spin. And I'm not gonna, there was one in there that we can't really take into account, which was, it was 34 degree. Yeah, that's the really bad one. 34, that's the toe. Love where it ended up. But we saw 30, 28, 28, 34, 25 and a half, 27, 27. So we saw such a huge spread from 34, or let's call 30 and call 34 an anomaly, through to 25 and a half. On this, we saw 20, 26, 26, 26, 26, 28, 27, 26, 28, 28. Way more consistency in the initial launch angle. I guess you're exactly getting what you pay for. And we're going to try and sum it up, but when you know you hit the middle of the golf club, you want to control the vertical height of the ball off the face, you strike it well, and you want to place it, and you're skilled, the Vokey is going to deliver that. It's going to deliver that lower launch, that more consistent launch, and a consistent spin number. The cavity bag did what it advertises. You hit it weird, it actually does a really, really good job.
Right.
But the trade-off is the control of the flight.
Right. I feel like with the cavity back, I kept having those weird strikes. Definitely more weird strikes with the cavity than the blade. And every time I would look up, and it was right in my little circle. Like every single time. And that is like, if you are struggling with 60 to 100 yard shots, this is kind of going to be your savior. Like a club like this, like for me anyway, the consistency today was just unbelievable. Now, if you're a little bit better of a player, that blade is going to give you that direct results right as you hit it. You're going to know exactly. We're talking about that 1-to-1 ratio. However you hit it, that's what it's going to do. So I think it really comes down to the player.
Yeah, again, I mean, really opened my eyes as a fitter. I think from this test, genuinely, if I'm putting someone into a club in their iron section, which is designed to help with their off-center strikes, give them more distance more often, I think I've got enough evidence there to be like, you know what, a 54 degree that you're hitting full, or even if you're trying to hit a 70-yard, 60-yard shot over and over again, it's going to do a better job than if you miss-hit a bladed wedge. And I've definitely given people a lot of bladed wedges. One, because a lot of people ask for them. And two, because I'm like, oh, I feel like you're not doing enough to need the distance. But this test shows this is delivering more consistent distance. What does it look like in a 60 degree? For me, the highest lofted wedge needs to work in the most weirdest scenarios, bunkers and rough. So provided the grind could offer the person that in that area of the bag, why not have a full shot that was more consistent? Right.
It's pretty incredible. Well, there you have it. I think we got so much more out of this test than we expected when we first started. It is really impressive, the grouping I was getting with the cavity back, but it was also a different feel than that blade wedge. So it really depends on the player. We really suggest that you get into a Cool Clubs or Worldwide Golf location. Try some of these wedges out. If you haven't tried a cavity back wedge like myself, today was my first time hitting it, you might be surprised just as I was. Make sure to jump down in the comments, let us know your thoughts on this test. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you next time.